So it has been very impressive to see the progress made from the first initial draft to the final product. Quite satisfying, I must say that. Again, congratulations to all the externs in this program, and thank you for working together with CerraCap team. And with that said, I actually would like to briefly introduce myself and take advantage of that 5 minutes allocated to me, as well as CerraCap Cares, and also set the context for the presentation, right? So can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, fantastic, fantastic. So my name is Nikki Arora. I'm a partner at CerraCap Ventures and a general partner for CerraCap Cares. At a core, I'm an entrepreneur, investor, and an executive with 25 years in tech industry. I've built and led teams across various functions globally. Additionally, I focus on executing marketing strategy for our portfolio companies. I fundraise as well as lead our vision to transforming that billion lives through sustainable technological innovations that are focused to directly elevate the quality of life of people in our communities and across the world. And we do that through our CerraCap Cares Impact Fund. What is CerraCap, right? So CerraCap Cares is the extension of that passion for me and for my partners. It is our platform to do good with good people and for the good of people. It is a women-led impact venture fund with an incredible all-women advisory board. It is about social innovation for sustainability. It is structured to create an impact by funding the ethical and human-centered technologies that are promising positive impact with speed and efficiency for people around the world. And being in technology industry, I can tell you one thing, that we know that good technology has enabled so much for the enterprise world. And we think that it's high time to leverage that in the nonprofit and social impact world. So to be more sustainable and have those sustainable outcomes. And technology can be the great equalizer to building that sustainable community globally. So we truly believe that. So CerraCap Cares basically is focused on investing in these innovative companies across the globe that are in the space of environment or education and the empowerment of our communities. And this is where we talked about how can we create an evidence-based change. So our first criteria to invest in a startup was basically does it solve a meaningful problem, right? Is it going to be an impact people in a positive way? Is it a project that is going to excite me, or it's going to excite me enough to contribute passionately, or is it scalable solution? What is it, right? So even the team, for that matter, is this a team that is going to share same values? Because that matters, right? It is the values of social innovation, it is a value of impact, and then returns. And this is where we feel like this is how we're designed to be different. And it truly is about our vision of dreams to impact around the world. I just kind of wanted to give the context before the team kind of jumps into the presentation. And I think I'll stop here and not take away the thunder from the externs who have worked so hard on compilation of this white paper. And I believe a resource that would be an important contribution to the industry in linking the purpose and profits, for the measurable sustainability. So with that, I look forward to it, and thank you.
Thank you for the great introduction. I figured the best way to share what we've been doing is to share a link of the white paper in a Google Drive. So I'm going to send that in the chat. All right, so we are CerraCap Cares externs, and I'm Andrew. And Nikki Arora is our host, Madison is our mentor, and then I'm joined by Magna, Karen, and Grizel. All right, so CerraCap Cares, as Nikki was saying, is the philanthropic arm of CerraCap Ventures. It's a venture capital firm in Costa Mesa. It was created as a way to provide a sustainable method to give back to the community and empower individuals. They do this through something called impact investing, or investing in companies, organizations, or funds with the defined purpose and intention to create social and environmental change and generate financial returns. CerraCap Cares focuses on innovative technologies that aim to reduce disparities and create solutions in three main areas: the environment, by improving things like air quality and access to clean water; in education, by improving literacy and access to it around the world; and in empowerment, by reducing disparities and around the world regarding health and gender issues. Wealth, excuse me. Okay, so CerraCap wanted us to create a white paper on impact investing. None of us had done this before, and so in our case, we started by learning first, like exactly what a white paper was. So a white paper is an informational document that's usually issued by an organization to highlight and go in depth on a certain topic. It can be used as a piece of content marketing, and it's really just a piece of marketing material for someone who already has a basic understanding of a topic and they want to dive deeper into it. So we first started by reading like quite a few articles and white papers that were already created on the topic. And so we had an overarching understanding before we started writing. The whole process involved quite a bit of back and forth questions with our hosts and a lot of trial and error in our writing, but we eventually were confident in our understanding of the assignment.
So after familiarizing ourselves with the topic, the next step was to begin the research. But before we could start researching, we first created outlines of the paper so we would have an idea of what to focus our research on. We made two outlines. The first outline was more of a brainstorm of topics we could include in the paper, like characteristics of impact investing and the market status of impact investing. And then with those ideas, we created a more specific and structured outline, which is also shown on the screen. And this outline was what we used to base our research off from. So once we had this second outline, we were then able to begin researching, and we used sources like the Global Impact Investing Network and Principles for Responsible Investment, which are both organizations that deal with impact investing. Then after gathering this research, we started writing out drafts of the paper. We created a total of 3 drafts before we got to the final paper, and each draft was revised from feedback given at the mentor and host meetings. For our first draft, which is shown on the screen, but it's only 1 page of it, revisions were made to the research because some sections needed additional information to make it clearer, like making sure we talk about the financial return of impact investing. And so more research was done and added. Then for the second draft, we switched who the target audience the white paper was for. At first, we were planning to write to people who had no idea about impact investing and introduce this concept. But with some suggestions, we changed the intended audience to investors who might be interested in impact investing. And then with this change, for the third draft, we added in new content like a section on the history of impact investing. And we also added in graphics to help highlight key points within the paper. Some of the graphics we made ourselves in Canva with information from the research, but some we edited through Canva to match CerraCap Care's color screen. And then after writing these drafts, before we got to the final paper, we still needed to add in interviews, which Grizel will be talking about next.
Another important component of our paper was interviews. So we wanted to be able to reach out to other companies that were doing impact investing, just like CerraCap, in order to compare their experiences actually doing the impact investing with all of the research that we were doing. And we tried to put a focus on reaching out to Fortune 500 companies that do impact investing. So we tried to network, build connections, sent several emails and messages over LinkedIn. And with the help of Nikki, we were able to finally get 2 people that we were able to interview. So I interviewed Jared Crook from Schmidt Futures and Leah Nguyen from Telus Pollinators Funds for Good. And they were able to really give us a whole new perspective as well on impact investing. And it was really different to actually talk to someone who was already doing it and give their own insight and journey, which really helped us do further research and incorporate their experiences within our paper. And it was just a really great experience to also network with companies that were doing this, because they were both really amazing people, willing to help a few students out on this really cool journey. And then for our final paper, we included sections which covered the UN SDGs and global impact, the history of impact investing, characteristics of impact investing, the status of impact investing markets and themes, as well as challenges and potential of the impact investing. And all together, our paper was made to help the average investor who may not know much about impact investing gain the knowledge necessary to consider impact investing as a viable form of investment. And we were able to put our whole paper together through the use of Canva for layouts, graphs, and much more. And we integrated a lot of the interviews throughout. And yeah.
So as for soft skills gained throughout this experience, we have all acquired great problem-solving skills that we will immensely be helpful for our future. When in doubt, we used our group chat to ask each other questions, whether that be on specific areas that we had a hard time finding research regarding the white paper, or specific graphics we wanted to use in our final paper. We were also a bit hesitant about how the white paper should flow in the beginning, so we worked together as a team to attack each section and find research to back up all claims presented. Furthermore, for time management, we exchanged calendars with each other so that we could all find a common time that would work to set aside for group meetings or interviews. Since this externship was majority of the second semester, we had to each learn how to balance both schoolwork and this externship despite midterms and finals taking place. We also gained really good interview skills that will be beneficial for our future, whether that helps with interviewing business professionals in the future, or if we're being also interviewed. So as for the hard skills gained, we learned business writing and how much it differs from academic writing. As in academic writing, first you introduce the main idea, then support with data. Whereas in business writing, we introduce evidence first, then build up to a conclusion. We also learned how to design the graphics through Canva and use the Calendly app to schedule interviews in a more professional manner. Furthermore, we were able to conduct strong research more efficiently by choosing credible sources and citing sources, even those that include images. We were also able to remember to use a professional tone in the writing and refrain from incorporating bias. So our overall experience in extern would be that each of us on the team acquired various skills that will help us prosper in both our academic and career future. The externship was definitely a learning journey, as none of the members on our team knew how to first write a white paper in the beginning. Now we have successfully created a strong paper that will help us base our future white papers off. Furthermore, we were able to network with various people such as our mentors, extern hosts, and business professionals in the real world that have expertise regarding impact investing and how that brought that to the firms. Lastly, we learned how to work as a team despite it being all through Zoom and no in-person contact due to this pandemic, which made us really rely more on social media as our best form of communication. And with that, we conclude our presentation. Thank you so much for your time and hope you learned about impact investing and our white paper journey.
Well done.